Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Welcome everyone. Today we will conclude the chapter 8. Welcome to the level 2 class. I have gone live successfully. Just do a small kirtan before we proceed. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari, Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari, Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana, Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Are you able to hear me and can you see my screen? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, yes, Mataji.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you, Vidya Mataji. Thank you, Ravi Prabhu. We're continuing with the chapter 8 today, and hopefully we can conclude it. I think today attendance may be less because of Shivaratri, but I already missed number of classes, so I didn't want to skip any more classes. So before we proceed, this is the beautiful date. These are the beautiful deities of Radha Krishna of Shri ISKCON, the Radha Krishna temple of ISKCON Mangalore. I pay my humble obeisances to the beautiful deities. Next, we pay obeisances to Srila Prabhupada, who is the founder Acharya of ISKCON. And all glories to his disciple, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj, and his disciple, the temple president, His Grace Namnishtha Das Prabhu, and my Guru, Aishwarya Mataji. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namane Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane Om Ajnana Timrandasat Nananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uttapada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajadam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savdhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpati Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosuri Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So yesterday we finished the sections 1, 2 and 3 as well. So we are exactly halfway in chapter 8. We looked at Arjuna's questions, and we also we saw Krishna's answers, and the most important question is about how can we remember Krishna at the time of death. So death is a very painful process, although some people, when they see someone dying, they feel that, oh, it's such a peaceful death. But even if it by appearance it is peaceful, death is always very painful. Especially if it is Yamadutas who are coming, they will literally pull the soul out of the body. It will be a very painful process. Whereas if the Vishnu Dutas come and we are remembering Krishna at the time of death, the whole will be a different process entirely. So the secret is that which is revealed in the Bhagavad Gita, is that we will be facing the final exam. It is certain. Who is going to be preparing for it? Who is not is the question. So how will you prepare? By remembering Krishna throughout your life. So that is what we have reached. We have reached up to 8.13. Today we will start section 4, 5 and 6. In section 4 we will study how pure devotional service can be done. How can we remember Krishna all the time, so that with practice we can remember him at the moment of death, when we are choking, when we are unable to take the breath, when we are sick, when we are either hospitalized, when we are so weak, or whatever is the condition. At that moment, how can we remember Krishna? Krishna will tell us how to practice. Then we have, unless it's if not, we don't remember. Whatever we remember, we will take birth accordingly. So we also saw how Bharat Maharaj had to take the birth of a deer. So if that is fine, then we don't put in as much effort. But as you come into Krishna consciousness, you know that it's a desperate, you feel that desperate urgency that we don't want to take birth, because we know that this is a world of kleshas. We have already seen that there are kleshas in this world. There is no escape from the kleshas. If you want to escape from the kleshas, from the cycle of birth and death, Krishna consciousness is the only solution. And then we are looking at how we compare the material and spiritual worlds in the next section, which is 8.17 to 22. And we will see how Krishna will describe his supreme abode. And finally, we will look at the supremacy of devotion in attaining the supreme in comparison to any other paths which are chosen, because ultimately any other path that is chosen will also have to reach bhakti, to reach the ultimate destination. So we are looking at pure devotional service, remembrance of Krishna through bhakti by constant engagement in devotional service. And we are looking at how one who undeviatingly remembers Krishna, he will easily, Krishna says it's very easy to attain the Lord's abode. A whole ocean of material misery, the world will become into just like a hoof, a hoof print filled with water. So easily you can cross over the material world if you remember Krishna undeviatingly. And then you will attain the Lord's world or Lord's abode, far from this miserable material world. You will be happily enjoying doing service to Krishna. So 8.14, we begin with 8.14 today. 8.14 says, Ananya cheta satatam yo mam smarati nityashah tasyaham sulabha partha nitya yuktasya yoginah. So just now I had explained about how easily, so sulabha, the word sulabha means so easily. So Krishna is telling us that for one who always remembers Krishna without any deviation, Krishna is very easy to obtain, O son of Pritha, because of his constant engagement in devotional service. So this is the verse where he talks about how one can easily get Krishna's lotus feet if only we are constantly remembering him. It's not a difficult thing, it is possible. So let's look at this lecture from by Srila Prabhupada. He says the yogis and the jnanis, they are generally impersonalists. So for them, the process at the time of death, they vibrate the transcendental sound Om, like we already saw yesterday. Omkara, and by that way they transfer to the spiritual world. But they do not enter into different spiritual planets. This point we have discussed. This is what Srila Prabhupada is saying. And the risk is that if we do not have any rest in the spiritual planet, if we remain in the outer space only, then the risk of coming down again in this material world is definitely a lot. So the Bhagavatam confirms this. That the verse is Ye neravindaksha vimuktamaninas त्वय्यस्तभावाद् अविशुद्धबुद्धयः आरुह्य कृच्छ्रेण परं पदं ततः पतन्त्याधोनाधृतयुष्मदङ्घ्रयः. Someone may say that aside from devotees who always seek shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord, there are those who are not devotees but who have accepted different processes for attaining salvation. What happens to them? So, in answer to this question in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Brahma and the demigods are replying, O lotus-eyed Lord, although non-devotees who accept severe austerities and penances to achieve the highest position may think themselves to be liberated, their intelligence is impure and therefore they fall down from their position of imagined superiority because they have no regard for your lotus feet of the Lord. I think we saw this verse yesterday also. It is said that persons who are interested in becoming, the persons who are interested of becoming liberated, ye nye ravindaksha vimukta manina, simply by the concept of impersonal merging into the spiritual existence, so ye nya ravindaksha, they consider themselves that they are liberated. So the Bhagavatam says, although they consider themselves as liberated, avishuddha buddhaya, avishuddha means the knowledge is not very pure, not yet very pure. So the result is aruhya krichrena param padam patata. So they can rise up to the supreme absolute platform by their penances and austerities and meditation. That's right, they can reach to the platform. Aruhya krichrena means raising themselves, elevating themselves by their severe penances. They can raise to that platform. Aruhya krichrena param padam, the supreme absolute platform. But patantyadha, so they again fall down in the material world. Why? Anadhrita, because they have not taken seriously Krishna's personal feature. Anadhrita Yushmad Angraya, without worshipping your lotus feet, the result is that they have to come down again in this material world. Just like however you may rise in material space 5,000 feet or anywhere, if you have no rest in any planet, naturally you will come down again because you have no rest there. So in the spiritual effulgence, if we do not have any rest, then we are sure to come back down again. The reason is that Srila Prabhupada has already explained that we as living entities are part and parcel of Supreme Krishna Satchidananda, and so we want pleasure. Krishna also has an Ananda feature. Impersonal feature does not give us pleasure which we want, which is actually a demand, which is what we have a natural inclination for. That pleasure is available in the spiritual planets. If you enter a spiritual planet, then the spiritual happiness and exchange of pleasure you can attain. Therefore, Lord says, Ananya Cheta Satatam Yomam Smarati Nityashah, a person without deviation, Ananya Cheta, and without any consideration of jnana yoga or any other process, simply by devotional service, simply surrendered process. My Lord, I am your eternal servant. That will be his attitude. Please give me your service. I want to be in your service. Let me engage. Let me be engaged in your service, O Lord. This is called Ananya Cheta. So this is a mood which a devotee should have. He should not want any other thing but the service of the Supreme Lord. Satatam means 24 hours, 100% without any deviation. That is Krishna consciousness. If anyone is engaged in such Krishna consciousness, 24 hours and 100%, then Krishna tells us in the Bhagavad Gita, then yo mam smarati nityashaha, always remembering nityashaha. Suppose if you're engaged in some work, naturally you'll be thinking of that particular work. When you go to the office and work, you have to think always of the office business or whatever. This is natural. Similarly, if you engage yourself in the business of Krishna consciousness, you'll always think of Krishna. Therefore, it is said, Yomam Smarati Nityasha, always remembering me. Tasyaham Sulabha Partha. He says, my dear Partha Arjuna, for him I am Sulabha. Very cheap, very easy you will attain me. Attain me. When you attain Krishna, you attain his qualities, because qualitatively we are one with him. Sulabha means very easily you will get it. God, Krishna, is called Ajita. Ajita means nobody can conquer God. So his name is Ajita. God has innumerable qualities. He is unlimited, and his functions and activities are unlimited. And according to his activities, his names are unlimited. So this is one name, Ajita, which means a personality who is never conquered. So there is a very nice verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, which goes in the tune of Brahma Samhita. It goes like this. Yeah. Yane prayasamupapasya namanta eva jivanti sanmukharitam bhavadiya vartam sthane sthita shruti-gatam tanuvan manobhir prayena jito pyojito vyasita strilokyam. So in this verse, Brahma is praying to Krishna. It is the verse number 10.14.3. So Brahma says, those who even while remaining in this established social position, if they throw away the process of speculative knowledge, constantly speculating about the existence of God, or speculating about various things with their body, their words, and their mind, they offer all respects to descriptions of Lord's personality and activities, and they dedicated their life to these narrations, which are vibrated by the Lord himself personally and by your pure devotees. Certainly conquer your lordship, although you are otherwise unconquerable by anyone in the three worlds. Vignesh. All right. So, so here we can see Krishna tells us that there's another verse in the Brahma Samhita similarly, where the purport is that a person, if he tries to understand by his sensual process, this is called sensual Aroha Pantha. He's using his own material senses. Aroha Pantha means trying to ascend. He's going to try hard. He's going to use all his ways of attaining knowledge, and he's using the Aroha Pantha ascending process. And there's another process, the descending process, the Avaroha Pantha. So the Aroha Pantha is, I shall understand what is God by my own knowledge. I don't care of the authority, books. I'll understand, I'll meditate, I'll think, I'll philosophize, and I'll understand what is God. So that is Aroha Pantha. And against this, Avaroha Pantha means you get knowledge. When you're getting it, it's just given. Everything is given, that you don't need to strive. You can't, even if you strive, you can't get it in the first place. And so when you accept that Avaroha Pantha, you're getting it from authority, then that is the process of Avaroha. You're getting the knowledge ready from the descending process. Out of these two processes, one, when you're trying to understand the Supreme by your limited knowledge, it is said in Brahma Samhita, Panthastu koti satavatsara sampragamyo vayurathapi manaso munipungavanam sopyasti yat prapadasimni avichintya tattve govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So he said, I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, only the tip of the toe of whose lotus feet is approached by the yogis who aspire or after the transcendental and betake themselves to pranayama by drilling the respiration, or by the jnanis who try to find out the non-differentiated Brahman by the process of elimination of the mundane extending over thousands of millions of years. So here we can see that by ascending process, if one makes progress with the speed of mind or speed of air, You know, speed of mind is very powerful. You are sitting here, you can think of thousands and thousands of miles away immediately, just the speed of mind. Similarly, the velocity of air, very thousands of miles in a second. So the example is given here that if you can traverse the path of ascending process with the velocity of the mind or air, panthas to koti shata. And if he makes progress not only for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 1 month, koti shata vatsara, millions and millions of years if he goes in this speed. Pantastu koti shatavatsara sampragamyo vayu rathapi manasa. Vayu is air, by the aeroplane, Sputnik, speed of mind. If he makes progress, then he says, and not a very ordinary man, but Muni Pungava. Muni Pungava is the highest thoughtful person. The Pungava is the greatest. Then, and Muni is somebody who comes up with very innovative thinking. If he goes on for millions of years, the speed of his mind and speed of air, still he will not find the knowable. He is not knowable. Still, the subject matter remains inconceivable, not definite. But here is the definite information. Just in the Bhagavad Gita, you will understand Ananya Cheta, without any deviation, Krishna consciousness. If you are submitted, if you think always of Krishna, Tasyaham Sulabha, I am very easily available. Why you become so cheap to this person? Srila Prabhupada is asking, why does Krishna become so cheap for a person who is in devotional service? Because Nitya Yuktasya Yogina, he's constantly 24 hours in connection with the Lord himself. He's engaged in his service. So Krishna cannot forget such a devotee. This is a process. Just become submissive and you will attract the attention of the God and you'll be successful. So Srila Prabhupada says, my Guru Maharaj used to say, don't try to see God. You work in such a way that God will see you. God will take care of you. You don't go and make some special effort to see God. So you take this process, Krishna consciousness is given to the humanity by Lord Chaitanya. And Rupa Goswami, the first disciple of Lord Chaitanya, Rupa Goswami was a minister in the Muhammadan kingdom. And he became a disciple of Lord Chaitanya, the incarnation of Krishna, and in the Kali Yuga. And when he first met him, when Rupa Goswami first met him, he offered in this verse very nicely, Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Trishe Namaha. O most munificent incarnation, O Lord Chaitanya, you are Krishna himself appearing as Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You have assumed the golden color of Srimati Radha Rani. So Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a combination of both Krishna and Radha. And you're widely distributing. And what is the purpose of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance? It is to show us how to love Krishna, how to be, the pure love of Krishna. He distributes that, and we offer our respectful obeisances to you. So, my dear Lord Chaitanya, your most munificent personality, most charitable, the highest charitable person. Why? Because he is delivering Krishna so cheaply, as is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. But people, you twist the meaning of Bhagavad Gita, and they never got the real purport. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had to appear. So Srila Prabhupada had to appear, so that we can get the real purport. Therefore, nobody is comparable with your charity. They are so benign. They come into this material world simply to give us Krishna. We want Krishna. We are hankering after Krishna. He's the most attractive, most beautiful, most opulent, most powerful, most learned, and the most renunciate as well. That is a hankering. We are hankering actually after the beauty, after the powerful, after the learned, because Krishna is a reservoir of everything. You just turn your attention to Krishna, you'll get everything you want. Whatever your heart desires, it will be fulfilled by Krishna consciousness. So this Krishna consciousness is given by Lord Chaitanya, and therefore he is called Namo Mahavadanyaya. Oh, you are the most powerful, charitable personality. Nobody has given such a thing as Krishna, because we are all in want of Krishna. So that is the process given by Krishna. And here Krishna says that I am Tasyaham Sulabha Partha. I become very cheap. Who becomes very cheap? Krishna. I am easily attainable. So this is the detailed explanation which Srila Prabhupada has given for this verse in one of the lectures he gave. And if you remain 24 hours like this in Krishna consciousness, just like impersonalists, yogis, jnanis, that transfer themselves to spiritual world and they merge into the impersonal effulgence, you, that is bhakti yogas, yogis will enter into the planet where Krishna is. What's the benefit? Well, I suppose if I do this, I enter into Krishna planet. And what's the benefit? That is given in the next verse, 8.15. मामुपेत्य पुनर्जन्म दुःखालयमशाश्वतं नाप्नुवन्ति महात्मानः samsiddhim paramam gatah. After attaining me, that is after you get Krishna, the great souls who are yogis in devotion, they never return to the material world which is full of miseries, because they have attained now the highest perfection. The material world is therefore in this verse very, very important word is that Krishna himself is talking about the material world as dukkhalayam. Like we have the different kinds of homes, like we have Vidyalayam for school. So Dukhalayam, a place of miseries, and how you can make it comfortable. Can you make it comfortable by your so-called advancement of science? No, we can see the proof. So much of advancement in science, but there is still death, old age, disease, tension, stress, everything. And so here is the solution. Krishna says, Mam upetya punar janma. Krishna says, if anyone remains Krishna consciousness 24 hours without any deviation, the result is that he comes to me. And if he once comes to me, he does not get rebirth again. Why? Now, Mahatmana Sam Siddhim Paramam Gata. There are great souls and they have achieved the highest goal. This is the highest goal. We should know our self-interest to achieve this highest goal, not like temporary dolls. Children, they get captivated by temporary dolls. But a sane man will not get such attractions. This is what we just saw. After attaining great souls, they never return. That is the benefit and that is the highest achievement. So I think Ravi Prabhu has posted the attendance. I request all of you to kindly post your attendance for the day. Krishna says that anyone who comes to me, Krishna is everywhere, but still he has got his abode. So we need to understand that actually the Bhagavad Gita, the real purport is that Krishna is talking about his abode. But you will find in several versions of Bhagavad Gita, they will not mention it because they don't know the real purport. They're not able to get the real purport because they are not read all the scriptures as much as Srila Prabhupada, and they're not in the line of parampara. They're not in parampara, so they don't have the real purport. They just twist the meaning according to whatever they feel. So we can see that in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 5.37 it is said Goloka eva nivasati akhilatma bhuta. So here we have the prayer which I have said several times I think before. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, residing in his own realm, Goloka, with Radha, resembling his own spiritual figure, the embodiment of ecstasy, potency, ecstatic potency possessed of the 64 artistic activities in the company of her confidante Sakhis, embodiments of the extensions of her bodily form, permeated and vitalized by his ever blissful spiritual rasa. That is a Goloka. Although Krishna has this abode in the transcendental kingdom, which is called Goloka Vrindavan, the Vrindavan city from where I have come, this Vrindavan is the Bhauma Vrindavan. So you will find in some of these lectures that there are actually a number of Vrindavans. The Vrindavan that we create in our minds, the Vrindavan when Krishna had come, the Vrindavan that is present day there on the earth, the Vrindavan that is eternally there in Goloka. So the Vrindavan city from where I come, the Bhauma Vrindavan, means the same Vrindavan descended on this earth, just like Krishna descends on this earth out of his internal potency. Similarly, his Dham also descends on the earth, and all his different devotees also take different forms around him. So all these facilities should be utilized for becoming a Mahatma or becoming eligible to enter into the kingdom of Krishna. Because if we can do that, there is no more birth. Why? That is the biggest profit. You always remain in Krishna consciousness. Gradually, you will develop. You'll be able to leave or quit the body in Krishna consciousness so that immediately you'll be transferred to Krishna's planet. And that is the ultimate goal of human life, not anything else. All the great, grand material achievements mean nothing. From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest planet, all are places of misery, wherein birth and death are repeated. So one who comes to Krishna's abode never takes birth again. So heaven at war, earth at war, hell is just pain. But where do we need to go? We need to go to Krishna Loka. That is our aim. So we can see the Brahma Bhuvana Loka, that is a verse. So the one universe is divided into 14 divisions of planetary system. We are in the middle planetary system, 7 down, 7 up. So Krishna says, Brahma Bhuvana Loka. Oh, what to speak of moon planet, sun planet, Venus. If you enter into the highest planet, which is called Brahma Loka, even there is birth and death. Punaravartina, repetition of birth and death. So this is what Krishna explains to us so clearly. We should be very serious about this problem. Actually, once you come to know from the scriptures, from a pure devotee, what is this world actually? What is our ultimate goal? We have to become very serious. We have to start taking up devotional service very seriously. There is no turning back. How to get our eternal life blissful and full of knowledge is a duty of human life. We have forgotten this. So in Srimad Bhagavatam 7.5.31, न ते विदुः स्वार्थगतिं हि विष्णुं दुराशया ये बहिरर्थमानिनः अन्धा यथान्धैरुपनीयमानास्तेऽपि शतन्त्र्या मृरुदां निबद्धा. Persons who are strongly entrapped by the consciousness of enjoying material life and who have therefore accepted as their leader or guru a similar blind man who is attached to external sense objects. He cannot understand that the goal of life is to return to God, back to Godhead, and engage in the service of Lord Vishnu. As blind men guided by another blind man misses the right path and falls into a ditch, materially attached men will led by another materially attached men will be bound by ropes of fruitive labor, which are made of very strong cords, and they will continue again and again in the material life, suffering the threefold miseries. So we are so lucky that we have got this knowledge now, right? Brahman Brahmite Kono Bhagyavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasade Paye Bhakti Lata Bij. It is only through the mercy of the Guru and Krishna that we are now having this knowledge, and now we have to take it seriously. So from 8.17 to 22, we have a quick comparison between the material and spiritual abodes. Material world is continually being created, destroyed, created, destroyed. Beyond this ocean of creation and destruction, there is Krishna's abode where he is present, which can be attained simply through unalloyed devotion to Krishna. So in 8.17, Krishna says, by calculation, 1,000 ages taken together form the duration of Brahma's one day. And such also is his night. And at the beginning of Brahma's day, all living entities become manifest from unmanifest state. And thereafter, when night falls, they all get merged into the unmanifest again. Again and again, when Brahma's day arrives, living entities come into being. Again, with the arrival of Brahma's night, they helplessly get annihilated. Cyclic creation and annihilation is happening. Right? This is what is being given in this verse. And so Srila Prabhupada is explaining, my dear Arjuna, in this verse, the translation, sometimes it's appearing, sometimes it's disappearing. This is another nature. Just take the information from Bhagavad Gita. We cannot calculate what is the length and breadth of this universe. There are millions and millions of universes like this within the material world. And above this material world, there is another sky, spiritual sky. In that sky, the planets are all eternal, and their life is also eternal. This manifestation, this material manifestation, is actually one-fourth. It should be part of the whole manifestation, both spiritual and material. You'll find in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Ekam Shena. When we come to chapter 10, in verse 42, Krishna will tell us, Krishna will be saying in that chapter, Ekam Shena Sthito Jagat. It means with one small fragment, the whole material world I pervade. So he says, what is the need, Arjuna? Arjuna in the next chapter 9 and 10, he's going to go on asking, I want to know more about you. I want to know more details. So in the end, Krishna says, what is the need for all this detailed knowledge? You just need to know that with a single fragment of myself, I pervade and support the entire universe. Ekamsha. One-fourth. These manifestations that you're seeing, millions and millions of universes ever expanding, is only one-fourth of my part. Imagine how huge Lord is. The three-fourth part manifestation is beyond the material sky. The material sky is covered. So when you see the sky, you'll find ball-like covering. That is a covering. So millions and millions of miles of covering is there. After penetrating that covering, you can enter spiritual sky, open sky. So here we get information. Paras tasmat bhava anya in 8.20. Bhava means nature, another nature. Just like you got experience of material nature, similarly, there is a spiritual nature. And just like material and spiritual nature, you have experience here. What is that? Just like you yourself are a combination of material and spiritual. You are spiritual soul. You are within this body, which is matter. It is moving. And as long as you are out of this body, it is as good as stone. The body becomes as good as stone when you are out of the body. So as you can perceive here within yourself what is matter, what is spirit, similarly, there is a spiritual world also. The two natures are there, as you can experience two natures here. We have discussed in 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna says spiritual nature is superior nature, material nature is inferior nature. The material nature is beyond its material nature, there is a superior nature. Now, it's not possible to understand all this by experimental knowledge. So, although you see by microscope, astronomical instruments, millions and millions of stars, but actually it is, people fail to understand. There are some scientists who really understand, wow, you can never study everything. So, your senses are so insufficient that you cannot approach. You're incapable. You can't try and understand God and God's kingdom simply by experimental knowledge. You can only get it by Krishna's grace. This is foolishness to try. It's not possible. You have to understand this. When you study the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, you will understand it so clearly. And actually, it is there within us. We know it, that you can't understand. It's just such a normal, commonsensical knowledge. But then still, it gets covered, and we are contaminated with our lusty desires and the desire to lord it over, that we just fail to see that. But when we start studying the Gita and Bhagavatam, it's so clearly given. So we can see in Chaitanya Charitamrit, Madhya Leela 17.136, Ata Shri Krishna Nama Dina Bhave Grahyam Indriyai Sevon Mukhe Hijihvadu Swayam Eva Spuratyada. Therefore, it's so clearly given. Material senses cannot appreciate Krishna's holy name, form, qualities, and pastimes. When a conditioned soul is awakened to Krishna consciousness and renders service by using his tongue to chant the Lord's holy name and taste the remnants of the Lord's food, the tongue is purified and one gradually comes to understand who Krishna really is. And this is the only way to understand Krishna. So this word is recorded in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. This knowledge will be revealed if you stick to Krishna consciousness. Yes, this is spiritual kingdom. There is spiritual kingdom. There is God. I have to go there. Just like you understand everything when you go to another country. So these are practical things. If you take up Krishna consciousness, you will understand. And the whole problem of life will be solved. So Krishna says in 8.20, yet there is another nature which is eternal, transcendental to this manifested and unmanifested matter. It is supreme and never annihilated. When all in this world is annihilated, that part remains. So Krishna is pointing out here that nature. Krishna is telling us, Paras tasmat bhavo anyo vyaktat sanatana. Sanatan means eternal. So this nature, this material nature, it has beginning, end. But spiritual nature, there is no beginning, end. How is it? You can understand by simple example. Just like the sky. In some insignificant part of the sky, a cloud comes. The cloud covers us. When there is a cloud or snowfall, we see everything is covered. But the covering is so insignificant part of the whole sky. That covering is not for the whole sky because we are very minute, small. So a few hundred miles, if it is covered, the sky, we see everything is covered. Similarly, the material sky is within the covering. It's within the covering of something called Mahat Tattva, matter. And as this cloud, when it is clear, the original sky you can see. Similarly, this covering of material matter, when it begins, just like the cloud has beginning and end. Similarly, when the material nature has beginning and end, just like your body, it's got beginning and end. Simply for some time, we get a birth of this body, we stay for some time, it grows, it gives some byproducts, it dwindles, vanishes, 6 transformations. Similarly, anything material you're seeing, observing, there are 6 kinds of transformations. So in the end, it will be vanquished. So Krishna says, Paras tasmat bhava anyo vyakto vyaktat sanatana. Beyond this vanquishing cloud-like material nature, there is superior nature, which is sanatan or eternal, which has no beginning and no end. And yes, sarveshu bhuteshu nashyatsu na vinashyati. Nashyatsu na vinashyati. So when this material manifestation will be annihilated, that will remain. The cloud, when it is vanquished, when it is annihilated, the sky still remains. So spiritual sky will remain. Material covering of the spiritual sky will be vanquished, and this is called Ghatakasha Potakasha. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Ravi Prabhu has posted the attendance again. Kindly mark it. We do have time to finish the chapter. So the whole Vedic literature instructs us so clearly. Tamaso ma jyotirgamaha. What does it mean? Don't remain in this darkness. This material world is darkness. We are artificially making it illuminated with electric light and fire and so many things. But the nature is dark. And that nature, the spiritual nature, is not dark. It's full of light. Just like sun planet, there is no possibility of darkness. Similarly, every planet, they are self-illuminated there. There's no darkness. So description we get from Bhagavad Gita, Natad bhashyato suryo, sorry. Na tad bhasayate suryo na shashanko na pavakaha yat gatva na nivardante tad dhama paramam mama. That abode of mine is not illuminated by the sun or moon or by electricity. When you reach there, you don't return to the material world. So here we can see the description given in detail. In this verse of Narada Pancharatra, 1.2.6, it's given. Aradhito yadi haris tapasa tatah kim. Naradhito yadi haris tapasa tatah kim. One who reaches there, for him all penances and austerities are no more required. And one who does not reach that place, all austerities and penances are useless and simply waste of time. So what is the purport? If you worship Krishna and you consider him the goal of your life, there is no need to execute severe types of austerity. And if after executing so much of tapasya, if you can't reach Krishna, then all your tapasya is of no value. For without Krishna consciousness, different types of austerities are wasted labor. So here it's clearly talking about the significance of Krishna consciousness. If you can achieve the stage of Krishna consciousness, there is no need to philosophize, yogic practice, nothing is required. Straight away bhakti. But if you don't reach that perfection even after doing so many austerities, then all that austerity is useless. So this should be the aim of human life, human civilization, human society should be formed that this opportunity is given. So we can see in this, in the Vedic literature, it is said, Ata Shri Krishna Nama Dina Bhaved Grahyam Indriya. So from the Chaitanya Charitamrit, Madhya Leela 17.136. And what we see in this verse, Krishna is saying in the 21st verse, Avyakto Kshara Ityuktas Tamaho Paramam Gatim Yam Prapya Nanivartante Tadhama Paramam Mama. Aksharam means which is not avyakta means not manifested. Aksharam means no annihilation. So the material world, everything is born, it stays for some time, then it dwindles. The 6 forms of changes of the material world are called Shad Vikara. And the Sanskrit word Shad Vikara means 6 kinds of changes. But the spiritual world, avyakta, not manifested at the present moment before us. Aksharam means it is eternal, that which does not annihilate. So it's like a sleeping man. A man is sleeping. How will you wake him up? You will wake him up by a vibration of sound like, Mr. Such and Such, get up, get up. Although he is now practically unconscious, he cannot see. Still, that hearing process is so prominent that a sleeping man is also awakened by the vibration of the sound. Similarly, the spirit soul, although it is now overpowered by this material bondage, material condition, the spiritual consciousness can be revived by just the transcendental vibration of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. For practical example, we can see that now this is a Sanskrit word. Some people may not know what is the meaning of Hare Krishna. So it is addressing the Supreme Lord and his energy. Hara is actually energy. So Hara is energy and Krishna is the Lord. So we are addressing Hare Krishna, oh energy of the Lord, oh energy of the Lord, please accept me. That's all, just accept me. We have no other prayer. So the prayer when you're chanting should be only that. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taught that we should simply cry out when we are chanting. We have to simply pray for acceptance. And the vibration is a cry, oh Lord, accept me, oh accept me. So in Chaitanya, in the Shishtastakam, we can see, Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitama Vishame Bhavam Budho Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaja Sita Dhuli Sadrisha Vichintaya. So he says, Oh my Lord Krishna, O Krishna, son of Maharaj Nanda, I Nanda Tanuja Kinkaram, I am your Kinkaram, eternal servant. But because of my own fruitive acts, Patitama, I have fallen, Patitam, Vishame Bhavam Buddha, in this horrible ocean of nescience. If you really think of it, this whole material world is like so horrible, it's so full of ignorance. So he says, Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaj, please be causelessly merciful to me. Sita dhuli sadrisham, just like a particle like a dust particle at your lotus feet, sadrisham, vichintaya, just consider me like that. This prayer is offered by Lord Chaitanya. He says, oh my dear Krishna. So Krishna appeared as the foster son of Nanda Maharaj. Therefore, Nanda, Tanuja, I Nanda Tanuja. And Krishna is very delighted when he's connected with some of his devotees' name. That's why many times we associate Krishna, we call him by referring to his devotee. So Lord Chaitanya says, oh son of Nanda, somehow or the other I'm now fallen. Please pick me up. That's all. Just like a man fallen in the ocean. The only survival if somebody will pick him up. Otherwise he's going to drown. So if he's immediately relieved. So as soon as we fix our mind in Krishna consciousness, immediately, there's no question about it. You will really experience how free you will be from every kind of worry. It's a simple process. It will reveal before you what is spiritual kingdom, what is material kingdom. You are now conditioned. Why are you conditioned? What is the remedy? Everything is given. Cheto darpanamarjanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam shreyah kairava chandrika vitaranam vidyavadhu jivanam. Let there be victory for chanting of the holy name of Lord Krishna, which can cleanse the mirror of the heart. It can stop the miseries of a blazing fire of material existence. That chanting is the waxing moon that spreads the white lotus of good fortune. It is the life and soul of all education. The chanting of holy name expands the blissful ocean of transcendental life. It's a cooling effect. So this whole verse is so beautifully explaining the significance of chanting, gradually, step by step. Avyatokshara ityukta. It is in the Vedic literature said, the spiritual world, the spirit, everything is non-manifested, but that is eternal. Eternal, we have to see through the books of knowledge. We have to believe, and then it will be revealed if you follow. Just like you purchase a ticket for going to India, some Indian airline, Pan Airline. So Srila Prabhupada is giving this lecture in America. So he's saying that, buy a ticket. But why do you purchase? You can disbelieve. You can say, what, maybe I'll not reach India. What is the evidence? There are people going. The companies are running. Under certain circumstances, you create faith. Yes, it will take me. And actually, when you purchase a ticket and you sit down, next morning you get down. So without faith, you cannot even go a step, even in this ordinary life. Similarly, you have to have the faith that, yes, there is this Lord, there is Krishna, right? You have to have that faith. Some philosophers, they think that, some philosophers think that spiritual atmosphere must be impersonal, it must be void. The impersonalists, the Shankarites, even Buddhists, somehow or the other, they think that there is voidness. But Bhagavad Gita does not disappoint us. The voidness philosophy is actually the one creating atheism. Because just try to understand clearly. Srila Prabhupada is trying to make us understand. He says that I am a spiritual being. I want enjoyment. That is life. I want enjoyment. But as soon as the future is void, I must be inclined to enjoy material life. Therefore, they simply discuss voidness, impersonalism, but they enjoy as much as possible in the material life. Simply armchair philosophical discussion is what Srila Prabhupada talks about impersonalism. So as soon as we see this behavior, we know that they are basically too much attached to material enjoyment. There is no benefit. But really, if one has spiritual sense, he at once, it will seize the whole, the attachment he has towards nonsense enjoyment of the material world, it will disappear. That is a symptom of true spirituality. So 11.22.42, Krishna, the verse is saying, Bhakti pareshaनुभवो विरक्तिरन्यत्र चैषत्रिक एककालः प्रपद्यमानस्य यथाश्नतः प्रपद्यमानस्य यथाश्नतः स्युस्तुष्टिः पुष्टिः क्षुद्धपायोर्नुघासम्. So devotion, direct experience of the Supreme Lord and detachment from other things, these will simultaneously occur for one who takes shelter in the Lord's lotus feet. In the same way, pleasure, nourishment, it gives relief from hunger. It comes simultaneously and increases with each bite when you're hungry for a person who's eating. So just as a test of whether the food is going to quench your hunger, similarly, if you develop Krishna consciousness, you develop the devotional spirit, the result will be that you will get detached from the material enjoyment. The example is given about the hungry person. When he eats, the hunger is gone. So similarly, when you're Krishna conscious, the taste for the material pleasures are gone. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 22.42, it says, स्थानाभिलाषी तपसि स्थितोऽहं त्वां प्राप्तवान् देव मुनीन्द्र गुह्यं काचं विचिन्वन्नपि दिव्यरत्नं स्वामिन् कृतार्थोऽस्मि वरं न याचे. When he was being blessed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Dhruva Maharaj is saying, Oh my Lord, because I was seeking an opulent material position, I was performing severe types of penance. Now I got you. You are so difficult for even great demigods, saintly persons, and kings to attain. And I was searching after a piece of glass when instead I have found you, the most valuable gem. Therefore, I am so satisfied that I don't wish any other benediction. This is also given in Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, na shochati na kamshati, sama sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim lavate param. And of all yogis, if one is constantly abiding in Krishna with great faith, worshipping Krishna in transcendental loving service, he is most intimately united with Krishna in yoga, and he is the highest. So, we have given a picture of Hanuman. How can I attain that state? Bhaktya, not by speculation. You have to submit. You have to render devotional, transcendental, loving service. Bhaktya tvananya. Tvananya means without any adulteration. Now I love God for some material benefit, that is with adulteration. I love God to become one with Him, that is adulteration. I want to lord it over like the God, that is adulteration. The sort of adulteration in devotional service will not help. It has to be ananya bhakti. In 8.22, Krishna is saying, Purushah sa para partha bhaktya labhyasvananyaya yasyantah sthani bhutani yena sarvamidam tatam. And that personality, although he's just a person like you and me, he's so widespread. Everything is within him, everything in him. He's outside and inside. That is a conception of God. He's everywhere. But still he has his kingdom, his abode. He has got his association, everything. The sun, the sunshine is all over the universe. It has got his own planet, his own residence localized. So the conception of God. God or Krishna is a spiritual atmosphere. If we approach Krishna, then our life will be successful, our aims will be fulfilled, we'll be happy, we'll be prosperous eternally, not for temporary, but eternally. So this is what 8.22 is giving us a hope of. Now we are encumbered with so many designations. So we need to leave all our designations. One of the first signs of spirituality is when you don't anymore bother about designations. Your body, your designation, suppose your university degree or a PhD or a doctorate. But bhakti means you just get yourself free from all designations. Now my senses are designated. When my senses will be free from designation, that is freedom. With that freedom, there is purity. When I engage myself in Krishna consciousness. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela it is given, Sarvopadhi vinirmuktam tat paratvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhakti ruchyate. If you will, rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam. Rishikena means all your senses. Rishikesha Sevanam. In the service of the Lord, if you use, that is bhakti, not for your own sense gratification. So bhakti is engaging all your senses in the service of the Lord. When the spirit soul renders service unto the Lord, there are two side effects. One, you will free yourself from material designation. Your senses will be purified simply when you engage your senses. So, Sarvopadhi vinirmuktam tat paratvena nirmalam. Nirmalam means completely pure. One spirit, aham brahmasmi, Brahman. I am Brahman. I am not the matter. This is my covering. I am Brahman. I am eternal, servant of Krishna. That's my identity. So one is freed from designation. He is situated in his real constitutional position. That person, when he renders service, Rishikena, Rishikesha Sevanam, Bhakti Ruchyate. So Rishikena means the senses. So this is explained by Rupa Goswami also in Anyabhilashita Shunyam Jnana Karma Dhanavritam Anukulena Krishna Nushilanam Bhakti Ruttama. So when my first class devotional service develops, you will be devoid of material desires, knowledge obtained by monastic philosophy and fruit of action. All that you will not have. Devotee will simply serve Krishna. Anukulena, favorably. So if you want to serve God with some material purpose, some material gain, that's also nice. Srila Prabhupada is saying, if somebody goes to God for some material gain, at least he's better than someone who never goes to God. So we have already seen, right? Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukritanor artho jignasur artharthi jnani cha bharatashava. So we have seen about the 4 types of devotees. But just like with this electrical energy, you can light up and the lamp is lit anywhere. Similarly, when you progress in devotional service, you will see God anywhere. I will require to be qualified. You have to just be qualified. So Sri Brahma Samhita 5.38 is talking about Premanjana Shurita Bhakti Vilochanena Shantah Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundaram Achintya Gunaswarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham bhajami. I worship God, Govinda, Shama Sundara, Krishna himself with inconceivable, innumerable attributes, whom pure devotees see in their heart of hearts with the eye of devotion tinged with the salve of love. So those who develop that love 24 hours, That is Sadaiva, but we have to develop that I. So this is the Krishna consciousness. So if we learn this, we can take advantage of it. So here we can see the absolute truth, the description of spiritual world. Krishna's abode is non-different from him. It's free from birth and death. Krishna's superior energy is opposite to material energy in quality. Opposed is unlimited bliss, opposed to material world, which is full of miseries and fulfills all desires. It's all attractive, unmanifest to mundane eyes, transcendental to manifest and unmanifest, supreme destination. It's a place of no return. We'll come to the final section, 8.23 to 28. It's talking about supremacy of devotion or bhakti, attaining the supreme through mystic yoga and supremacy of bhakti. यत्र काले त्वनावृत्तिं नावृत्तिं चैव योगिनः प्रयाता यान्ति तं कालं वक्ष्यामि भरतर्षभा. So here Krishna is talking about, O best of Bharatas, I shall now explain to you the different times at which when passing away, the yogi does not come back. So he's talking about the yogis and then he talks about superiority of the bhaktas. Those who know Supreme Brahman attain that Supreme by passing away from the world during the influence of the fiery god in the light at the auspicious moment of day, during fortnight of the waxing moon, or during 6 months when the sun travels in the north. And the mystic who passes away from the world during smoke, the night, the fortnight of waning moon, the 6 months when the sun is passing to the south, he will reach the moon planet and again he will come back. And then Krishna says, according to Vedic opinion, there are two ways of passing, one in light, one in darkness. If you pass in light, you don't come back, but if you pass in darkness, you return. So there are ways of leaving. This is just theoretical information. There's nothing much to understand in these verses. It's talking about how the yogis and jnanis in light, they will see that they will go in the time of light so that they attain Brahma Jyoti. The karma kandis, they will be, passing away in the time of darkness. They will attain heavenly planets and return back to the earth. The devotees, it doesn't matter what time they pass because they will attain Krishna Loka irrespective of what time they are passing away. So in 8.27, the second last verse, Krishna is saying, Naiti Shruti नैते श्रुति पार्थ जानन् योगी मुह्यति कश्चन तस्मात् सर्वेषु कालेषु योगयुक्तो भवार्जुन. So he's asking Arjuna to be yoga yukta. Although devotees know these parts, you don't have to ever be bewildered. Therefore, simply be fixed in devotion. And the last verse, 8.22, 8.28 says, Vedeshu yagneshu tapasyu chaiva दानेषु यत् पुण्यफलं प्रतिष्ठम् अत्येति तत्सर्वमिदं विदित्वा योगी परं स्थानमुपैति चाद्यम्. A person who accepts the path of devotional service is not bereft of the results of studying the Vedas, performing austerity, sacrifices, giving charity, pursuing philosophical and fruitive activities. Everything is achieved simply by bhakti. So we can see how in the last verse, after Krishna explains if you pass in day, pass in night, yogi, what are the different things, he says for the bhakti, there is nothing. At the end, he reaches a supreme abode. The person who accepts devotional service, he already gets the highest possible results of a person who has been studying Vedas, who has performed so many austerities and done so many philosophical and fruitive activities, whatever, everything already he achieves simply by being in bhakti, and he will attain the supreme abode. So we have completed the chapter 8, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, thank you so much for staying with me. And we have completed this verse today. Anybody would like to share some reflections? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
It is wonderful class, Mataji. You explained very well, Mataji.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna,
Prabhuji. So we have done chapter 8. Now we have chapter 9, which is so beautiful. Raja Vidya Guhya. It is about the secret knowledge, the most confidential knowledge, which we will be doing next chapter. So we will enjoy the chapter 9 coming Thursday. Please join me again. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Jalpa Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Since I have this feeling that you're all very high devotees, I really try my best to bring in as much of information from the different Prabhupada's lectures so that it is useful to all of you. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Jalpa Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
Thank you.
Vidya Mataji.